Thanks for joining us for another Tantrum House crowdfunding conniption. Today we're looking at the game Huang, which is coming to Kickstarter soon.
Before we jump in, we always want to make you aware that our crowdfunded videos are sponsored in part by our own Kickstarter backers, as well as by the creators of this game. Welcome to Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and today we're looking at the game Huang from PHALANX. Huang by Reiner Knizia is the new version of Yellow and Yang Z, which is a sister game to the classic Tigris and Euphrates.
Huang is an area influence game for 2 to 4 players. It takes about 90 minutes to play. In the game, players will be building civilizations through tile placement. They will control 5 different leaders that are used to collect victory points on the board based on their color. Now, we've got a prototype copy of the game to check out. In this video, we're not going to actually be sharing any opinions on the game, but we do want to show you how it's played and what it looks like so that you can make an informed decision when it comes to becoming a backer. Let's take a look.
To set up the game, lay out the board and place the governor tiles on the designated spaces.
Give each player a screen, their dynasty minis, and 6 random tiles from the bag, and then you're ready to begin.
On your turn, you'll take 2 actions. You may place or move a leader, and they must go adjacent to a governor tile.
You may play a tile. The player whose color matching leader is in the same state or group of connected tiles will gain a matching victory point.
Those are the 2 primary actions that happen in the game, but players may also choose to do several different things depending on the tiles they have behind their screen.
They can spend 2 blue farmer tiles to remove a tile from the board, or they could choose to spend 2 green trader tiles to build a pagoda on a group of 3 matching tiles.
Players may also spend an action to discard tiles and redraw from the bag.
Anytime a leader moves into a state with a leader of the same color, a revolt arises.
Players will count the yellow tiles adjacent to their leader, plus any they would like to devote from behind their screen. The winner will gain a point, and the other leader is taken off the board.
War arises when any 2 states are joined and have matching leaders already in place. Everyone at the table gets the opportunity to allocate additional red tiles to help the cause of the side that they would like to win. All red tiles are tallied, and the side with the most wins and claims a point and control of both states, which are now combined into one.
Play continues until all the tiles from the bag are gone.
Then players determine their score based on the lowest of the 4 colors of victory points they have been able to claim. So after you build up your states and move around all your leaders and merge and war and do a bunch of other combinations of things until the board is totally covered in land and tiles, then you're going to actually count your victory points based on the stacks of colored victory points that you've been able to claim throughout the course of the game, and your smallest stack is actually going to be your final score in the game.
We did mention that you're able to use colored tiles to do different things in the game. A couple of the tiles have an extra bonus when you play them to the board. Instead of spending them, like to build a pagoda, the white tiles don't have a bonus action, but if you're able to gain white victory points, they are wild at the end of the game, so you can kind of build up that smallest stack that you have been neglecting to help boost your score at the end of the game.
Yeah, so at the end of the game, my lowest score in green was only like 3 victory points, but I had, like 8 blue ones, and I was able to collect 5 white ones. Well, then my lowest score would actually be 8 because now I've been able to kind of sort them together however I need to in order to get my lowest score up as high as I possibly can.
Yeah, there's a lot of balancing to keep track of all that in the game to make sure that you're not neglecting one specific color. The game does take about 60 to 90 minutes to play, depending on your player count, and it can swing pretty wildly in its progress. There is an action that allows you to remove tiles from the game, which could remove a pagoda, and so that could be, the pagodas give you an income during the game, so you could remove an income from somebody else and then later build that pagoda on one of the spaces that you control.
One of the reasons that the game can swing kind of wildly is because there's a river that courses through the middle of the board. You can only place blue tiles onto the river, and so it kind of happens where the this section kind of builds up, and then finally somebody connects it with the river to cross it, and then you end up in those wars, which can really change up who owns what and who's collecting victory points each round. It's a pretty interesting little shift because of the way the board is designed.
There's no dice in the game, so if you enjoy strategic tile placement games that feature area control and have very little luck besides just what you're pulling out of the bag when you draw back up, it has unique endgame scoring. If that sounds interesting to you, then you can check out Huang on Kickstarter now.
And then as always, we like to hear what you think of the game in the comments, and we would love for you to like, subscribe, and then we'll see you in the next one.